Libra, November is upon us, and the word that I am getting for you guys in terms of that energy is managed. Let's have an aligned astro chat about it. Shalom all, Stacy the Black Feather Intuitive, and welcome to your Transformational Tarot for this November, Libras. Oh my goodness, what's up with managed? I can't wait to see what comes through in the card reading for that. We are going to be pulling cards for you today from the Tarot of the Guiding Muse. That's the deck that was calling to me for you guys today. And then we're doing an overarching theme of the Divine Feather Messenger Oracle. This is by Alison DeNicola and artwork by David Shearer. By the way, this is Ted Sue. It's fantastic. I think you're going to love it. So without further ado, let's get to it. Okay. So let's shuffle up these bad boys and see what the overarching theme is and how the word managed, ooh, you saw that flip out, how the word managed fits in. The time is right to release old patterns and energies. You are ready to embrace change, chickadee. Oh, I love this, Libras. Okay, so in terms of managed, this makes sense. I feel like, Harry Potter, mischief managed. Like, yes, you recognize the old patterns and energies. It's not like you have to seek them out now. You see it, you know it, and you also have the ability and the resources and the desire and the know-how to actually be able to make that change, to release and to move forward. And I feel like that's what that chickadee is coming through about. So this will be really interesting to see how the cards are going to play on this experience. I feel like you've done a lot of releasing in the last little while. So this also kind of feels like tying up of loose ends. And I will say to you, that seems to be kind of a trend that has been coming through in a lot of the readings today. Not with all, but with a couple of signs at least. I want to say maybe 3 of the signs where there's been this concept of wrapping up, tying up loose ends, wrapping up things from the past, just getting the little tendrils of things. It's like the final sweep. So yeah, that feels pretty significant. Okay, so let's dive into the reading here. Get my little prompt sheet going. Currently, the present. Where are you right now presently in your transformational journey? What part of you is shifting, rising, or dissolving? Interesting. So I feel like you're still being affected by the South Node in Virgo right now. We're going to talk a little Stacy's Novice Astrology. I feel also like you're being affected by things that transpired during Virgo season, which is the end of August into most of September. And I feel like you're tired. Like whatever it is that you've been processing, and what I keep hearing is laying into, not leaning into, laying into. And usually when we use that term, it's like you're laying into someone, you're giving them the business, you're angry, you're letting them have it. So there may be some of that. Maybe you're laying into yourself in that regard. Maybe you're having a come to Jesus moment with your guides, being like, I'm done, stick a fork in me. Not quite sure how that's working. But I do feel like presently you are looking at things from a more isolated perspective. And you're looking at it because you're saying, what do I no longer want to experience? And what am I ready for as I'm moving forward? This could very easily be, I want to say, position 3 card of what is dying away, because I feel like that is something that you are going to be releasing this month as well. We'll see what the cards have to say. But this hermit energy is coming up because I feel like you have needed to have a little more of a timeout, but now you're ready to get out of it. It's like, I'm tired of being the hermit. I'm tired of having the need to be the hermit. I'm tired of my energy always being, on empty or, close to empty, less than 0. I'm ready for something new. And I feel like, when I look at this card here, You know, she's sitting in the room, she's sitting at a table, she's managing the light, she's managing the lantern, and that lantern light is enough for her. But what she's really focused on is the big city abroad. And I feel like, you know, there was a time when she was sitting in the big city and looking here and wishing she was here. Well, now she's done what she needed to do and she's ready to move on. So I definitely feel like you're shifting out of this. You're definitely shifting out of that hermit energy. You're closing some doors regarding things that came up in that Virgo season that you've been processing and dealing with since that time. And you're preparing yourself for what is to come. Let's check out the catalyst. What's fueling or hindering your transformation? Is this resistance or rocket fuel? Interesting. Sorry, I don't read reversals, so that must have just been a weird thing. King of Swords. So you're receiving a lot of download. You've got a lot of ideas. You've got, I want to say, even some pretty cool laid out plans. You're kind of pissed off that there are still obstacles in the way. You're looking at this and you're trying to figure out ways to get done what you know needs to get done, things that are coming up within you, like through you, that you know you need to express. You're trying to figure out where that fits in and how to trying to find the right words here, like where it fits in, and also like not how to navigate, but how to actually put it into practice. And I feel frustration that you're like, okay, I'm ready to get out of this. You've given me this time to have all of this inspiration and to think about things and to get to know myself and all the yada yada. I've received the downloads. I'm there. I'm ready to go. Why are there barriers? And what I'm seeing here, like King of Swords, like she's standing tall on this platform. It's a small platform. There's nothing else around her. And it's interesting. It's like the king on its throne. You know, a lot of people think, ooh, yeah, I want to be a king. You know, I'd be in control of everything. But that throne energy is really lonely. You know, it's also uncomfortable, right? It separates you. It keeps you separated. So you're here now. It served its purpose. You don't want to be here, but you're also being given in November more messages around, okay, but I'm still alone. Like you're giving me all this information, but you're still keeping me on this small platform. You're not bringing a bridge to me. There are no stairs. There isn't a rope. Like, it's like you're kind of waiting for spirit, source energy to give you the next information, the next line, right? The next direction. When can I go? When can I launch? When can I do these things? And I feel like when we talk about this as a catalyst, this is definitely, I want to say, hindering your transformation. That's how you feel. But I'm hearing that source is saying there's a timing factor involved. Be patient. You're receiving these downloads and you're preparing so that when that gun goes off, you know, you're at the race. When that gun goes off, you're off like a shot and there's nothing going to hold you back. So it's extra preparation. It's just extra opportunity. It's kind of like, you know, preparing for the marathon and you get up for the game, you know, the marathon is on Tuesday. You're so good to go. You had the pasta the night before, like you did all the things and the stuff. You've been training for 6 months for it. And something comes up and there's like extreme weather, like a hurricane. And so they have to postpone the event. And of course you're disappointed because you were ready, you were revved, you were ready to go, you were up for the game. But that doesn't mean that you won't be just as ready in a week from now. You know, you'll still be able to do the things. It just gives you an extra week to continue to prep, to condition, you know, to prepare yourself for that journey, for that quest. So yeah, I feel a lot of frustration. I feel you. I mean, I'm a Virgo rising, so I really relate to this. I feel you in this. What is really good about this, I feel, even though you are feeling it's a hindrance, I keep seeing a timing thing, and I'm feeling the 18th of November feels like something breaks open, kind of a breakthrough. We'll have to see what the breakthrough card is as we move forward. But I'm really getting that the patience isn't going to, you won't have to wait too long. I feel like it's going to show itself in this month, in November. So let's see what comes up as a result of that. Here's your deep root. What deep belief, wound, or soul contract is driving this transformation under the surface? Yeah, again, like new ideas, fresh starts, wanting to move forward, wanting to be able to use your magic, wanting to be able to apply what you've learned, getting sick and tired of being stuck in the same place. I feel like relationship energy is coming through here in terms of feeling like you've done all the things right, you're communicating in all the right ways, you're taking all the right steps. Why has nothing changed? This can be in romantic partnership, this can be in friendship, this can be in a work situation. I definitely feel like this is like a one-on-one sort of experience. Or I'm seeing teachers, like teachers in a classroom, for example. So like if you do have a group, of students or a group of people, and you're the person teaching, and you've done all the things right, you've made all the shifts and the changes, and it still isn't improving. I feel like it's almost like you're questioning yourself. Am I even in the right place? Is this even really what I'm supposed to be doing? I'm hearing loud and clear, yes, it is. Remember, it's not always about you. And from that spiritual perspective, the journey that you're having, the experience that you're having may be that's the exact experience you're supposed to have. You might be there to give others that experience of chaos or mayhem or frustration or not listening or missing the mark. From a human perspective, we think we know what everything is supposed to look like. But on that spiritual perspective, the lessons often look very different. It's not linear. It's not always predictable. So this Ace of Swords, it's pure potential. And I feel like you don't want to lose that pure potential. Like, don't beat yourself up. Don't see it as you being unworthy or undeserving of what this is. I feel like, again, I keep getting this timing issue. And it's interesting that we're getting a lot of the swords energy, right? So that swords energy, that's our happy place as Libras. That's our home energy, communication, the realm of the mind, thoughts, mental energy. So you're in the right space in the right place. It's just a matter of timing. So, just November 18th, I feel is significant to that. What's dying away? What part of you is falling away? What role, pattern, or identity has run its course? This is you, Libra, Queen of Swords. So, wow. I'm really feeling here that this month is going to challenge you to use your power to rein in. Okay, so bear with me here, to rein in your demons, but just work with me here for a second. So I feel like in this picture, it can be interpreted in a number of different ways. But in this picture, the way I'm interpreting it is each of these snakes works for you. They are a tool. They are a resource. They respond to you. They command. They listen to your commands. But maybe you've given them a bit of free rein. Maybe you've loosened the boundaries a bit. And now I feel in this month of November, it's time to bring them in, to rein them in, to establish some new order, to establish like a new curfew kind of thing, all right, I gave you guys free rein, but like teenagers, you had to push the limits, you had to go past the boundary. And so now, I can't trust you to come home at 11. So now your curfew is 10 o'clock. And that's just the way that it is. 10 o'clock is the way it is. Oh, come on. That's not fair. Well, you didn't you didn't respond. You didn't do the things you were supposed to do. Like, this is the way it is. So I feel like you're kind of reigning in your demons. Now, when I talk about demons, I'm not talking like the religious, biblical demon kind of thing. I'm talking about those addictions, those vices that we all have that we're struggling with, right? The demons within. And I feel like some of these have been at bay for you for a while, which is why you felt comfortable to, give them a bit of a wide berth. But when we leave things unchecked, they it kind of comes back to haunt us a little bit. So I feel like you let your boundaries down a little bit or extended your boundaries, and now you've learned, okay, I've got to bring those boundaries a little bit back in. Maybe not all the way, but now I've found a happy medium. I found a balance, and I feel like that's what this whole thing is about, is you kind of finding your balance. So what is dying away? I feel like it's I thought I could, open the borders wide, but I can't. Now I've learned I need to have some perimeter. Excuse me. And I feel like that is kind of the energy. So again, it's not an all or nothing thing. It's not an extreme experience or situation, but it definitely is a learning situation, learning your boundaries, learning, and this is a new version of you. So you're kind of learning yourself in amongst all of that. And, these guys are learning from you. These tools and resources follow your lead. And some of them are having to learn how to follow someone else's lead. And that's perfectly okay. Everything is all right here. So boundaries is what I'm feeling. Okay, highest potential in transformation. So this is your highest phoenix potential. What can rise from the ashes? What is your soul calling you toward? This is your breakthrough energy. Oh, I love this. Okay, so the celebratory energy feels like it's bubbling up within you, kind of effervescent. We're seeing the champagne glasses here, so maybe that's why I'm seeing some of that effervescence. But I also feel like it's just natural. It's a natural feeling for you. And I feel like it's so natural that you haven't felt it in a long time. So when that starts to come to the surface and you feel that bubbliness, that effervescence, you feel like you're coming back to life. And it's something that happens where you're like, oh my God, I haven't felt this way in a long time. I need to incorporate more of this. I forgot how fun this was. I forgot how great it is to not think about my cares or my troubles for a while, and to just get out and, night on the town or be with my people, that kind of thing. I am feeling here that even though this isn't a card of creation or creativity, I am feeling that there's a component of this that may cause some trouble or some grief. In the process of it, it's like you're trying to create something and you get this incredible idea because you're always getting downloads. And here you feel like this might be an opportunity to either run the idea by the people that you're with, or you might invite them to participate. And I want to say, no harm in trying, but don't get discouraged if it doesn't work out. I kind of feel like, again, it's a timing thing. That if it doesn't work out, it's because it really wasn't meant to be shared, or it wasn't meant to. No, that's not true. It's fine to share it. It's not meant to be divided up. I feel like it's yours. It's your baby. So, asking them to partner up is not the way to go. Asking them for help or support or, ideas, thoughts on what you're doing, yes. But partnering up, getting them involved in, a big way, not so much. I feel like whatever this is, it's for you. I also feel like November is going to bring about a lot more of this. Now, we are entering into holiday season, so you don't need to be psychic to know that there are going to be more opportunities to socialize, to get out, to have fun. But none of the other signs have gotten that. I feel like this is specific to you guys, and feeling like it's important for you to do this. And you might even like overindulge a little bit in this for a while, but it makes sense because you haven't done this a lot, and it's time for you to kind of recharge your batteries. I feel like this is going to fill your love cup. So lean into this. lean into this because I feel like it's only going to bring good. You'll eventually balance yourself out again. For now, this is what is absolutely needed. What's emerging just around the corner? What energy or experience is coming in to support the next phase? Oh, I love it. Yeah, so I do really feel like for a lot of you who are maybe seeking relationship, this is definitely coming through as an opportunity for relationship, and one that actually feels like it has some weight, one that feels like it's got some staying power. For those of you who are already in relationship or not necessarily looking for that, what this really feels like is you understanding where you end and another person begins, and how that doesn't hinder you or stop you from leaning all in, opening your heart, being a little more vulnerable, letting people in. I also keep hearing like scavenger hunt. And I feel like this is kind of a unique, sort of random message about, like, with a scavenger hunt, things are going to be in weird places, but you don't want them to be in place. You as the planner of the scavenger hunt and the person who puts all the stuff out for people to find, you want to get clever because you almost want it to hide in plain sight. If it's too hard to find, or you put it in a place where it might cause danger for someone to try and find it, that defeats the purpose, right? So I don't know why this is coming through, but when we're talking about what's emerging, I feel like the universe is setting up a little bit of a scavenger hunt for you, where in November, you're going to be looking for things that are hiding in plain sight. And this could be symbols and signs from your guides that you're setting up with them in advance that you're going to find. This can also be the universe, you putting out to the universe, I want a new job, I want it to look like this and this and this, and the universe presents stuff to you. I mean, this can be all sorts of things, but I feel like the second half of November is just going to be one big scavenger hunt, and it feels like fun. So Libra's like, lean into that, because again, that Three of Cups energy has come through because you haven't had enough fun. You need to fill that love cup. And the Two of Cups energy is supporting that. It's teamwork, pairing, partnership, union. It's the soulmate card. It can be the blending of divine masculine and divine feminine within each of us individually. But either way, I feel like it supports this. So yeah, I feel like you and the universe are going to be having some fun. You're going to be finding things that your guides are putting out there in plain sight for you to see. And someone is going to be following along on the path. Someone is maybe even watching you as you're seeking these things out and maybe that's the draw, right? That's how the attraction starts. That's how the connection is made. So I feel like this is very random and oddly specific, but also super, super fun. So I love that for you guys. Wow, that's really cool. Okay, this is your role in this process. How are you navigating this transformation? Are you resisting, flowing, grieving, or boldly rising? Here we have the Eight of Wands. So yes, like I said, you're frustrated because you want to just go, go, go. It's a timing issue. You're being told to have patience. But then when it shows up, you are off like a shot. Look at how fast. Like, the bunny is in blur. It's moving so fast. And I feel like when we're talking about your role in the process, it's going with the flow, allowing the bunny to handle the logistics so that you can be singularly focused on your plan and your goal. And that's what I am feeling is I'm seeing the 20th, the 23rd, and the 25th being really significant dates in terms of specific focus. Having your head turned or your eyes turned in a particular direction. And that is where you want to put your energy. This is a wand energy. She's shooting a lighted arrow, a lighted torch. So her intent is to light something up, to bring awareness to it. Oh, sorry, this is I'm sorry that it's so fuzzy. I don't know why the camera does this when I'm dealing with white based cards. I'm so sorry. Let's see if we can get this adjusted. Ah! There we go. Okay. So, sorry about that. So I feel like those are the dates where you are going to be singularly focused. You're there to light something up. And when we're talking about you in this process, I feel like you need to have your love cup full and overflowing in order to be able to recognize when the time is right. Because if you're too exhausted, you're not going to have the energy to do all this. You're going to want to kind of go back into that hermit mode, or you're going to naturally fall into that hermit mode space um, for lack of energy, not because you want to be there, but because that feels like the easiest sort of path to take, or it feels like the path that you can handle or cope with. Whatever you're going to light up, whatever you're going to shed light on and activate, I want to say is going to be really big, and it's going to be deeply connected to this next big journey for you. I feel like it's laying groundwork for the next year to year and 3 months that you're going to be working. Open to it. Don't be afraid of it. But I also want to say the self-care piece is just huge. You're going to have to really keep that self-care in mind. And we're seeing that you've got a lot of pink in your cards. Self-care is that pink energy, the pink chakra energy. So if you want to say yes to all of these things, you got to make sure that your body can handle it. Your body can cope. Interesting. Circles of support. Who or what is influencing your transformation right now? And is it positive or negative? Here we have the 10 of Swords. So I feel like you coming out of the hermit energy, going back into the city, so to speak, being ready to take this on. When you come back, you're going to recognize how much you have changed. And so what you thought you were craving, what you thought you wanted to go back to, now that you're in it, you know, it's taking a bigger adjustment. It's taking a little more of a toll on you to figure out why that is. And you know, this 10 of Swords, like clearly she's seeing her lover with another person. And so as far as she's concerned, the relationship is done. She's been uprooted. You know, all the roots of her have been uprooted. There's nothing left, right? I almost feel like there's going to be a moment in November when you recognize things aren't what I thought they were, or just recognizing I've changed so much that, like, I'm witnessing this now, and I know clearly that I'm going to remove myself from this. Like, I'm not even going to engage in the drama. I'm just going to go home and pack my shit, or pack his shit, right? Or pack her shit. This is going to be a bit difficult because this is supposed to be circles of support. I feel like this is something that you are dealing with on your own. You're going to come to your own realization of this. You're going to have your own conclusion around this. But once you do, I feel like where you go for support is very clear. This is not something that you want to talk to just anybody about, because not anybody is going to understand it. But once you make that clear, you have that clear resolution, you have that understanding, and you make a decision, who you need to speak to is so obvious. And that's where you get your comfort and where you get your circle of support from. I don't feel that you're going to be heartbroken around this. I feel more like it's the revelation of, oh, the thing that I thought I wanted after taking this break, now suddenly I recognize that's actually not what I wanted, or I've kind of outgrown it a little bit. And now I'm on a different path and recognizing that I'm seeking out something else instead. And who can help me with that something else? Ah, I know the person I can speak to. That's interesting. I want to say there's no pain involved in this. There may be a little bit of grief, but there's more, I want to say, just resolve. Like, oh, okay, that's a bummer. But yeah, okay, I get it. And all right, so now where do I go from here? And that's kind of what I feel around that. Hopes and fears about changing. Who and what are you dreaming of becoming? And what scares you about actually doing it? Interesting. You want the success. You want the victory. You want the praise and the accolades. You want to be seen. You want to be acknowledged, especially for all of this stuff that's coming up and coming through. And you're afraid that if you go out and you put yourself out there and you do all of this, that it's just going to turn around to be an absolute nightmare, an absolute mess, or 3 times the amount of work for yourself, because I don't want to say no one is going to show up to help you, but like that's the fear, is that no one's going to show up to help you, or you're not going to get the right people to help you out, to get you where you need to be. I don't know why, Libra, but I'm feeling that this 6 of Wands card feels more fearful to me than it feels hopeful. And I feel like that's because that's how you're perceiving it. It's almost like you're afraid of success. And part of that, I think, is because you thought you knew where you were going and why all these downloads were coming through. And now all of a sudden you're recognizing, okay, that wasn't what I was expecting. I'm seeing different things. I'm putting my focus to different things. So maybe the victory that I thought I wanted, now I'm not sure if that's actually the victory I should be putting my focus to. Not sure if that's the outcome that I should be, sort of leaning into. And I want to say, take your time to figure it out. You've got time. You can still be on the road running the race, even if you decide, before you hit the finish line that, oh, this isn't the right road for me, or I don't really care about this race, or I need to take a detour because it's taking me to a different place, and that different place is the outcome. Take a little bit of time. I feel like this will reveal itself by the end of the month, and maybe a little bit into December. It will reveal itself. And don't push. Don't push, don't drive, don't bulldoze. Be in flow of whatever is going to come. Some of you may absolutely have the victory based on the marathon that you're still running, and you may be thinking about it, is this the right path? And then you come to the conclusion, yes, this is. And some of you halfway through may realize, oh yeah, no, I'm here because I need to take the detour. I'm here because I needed to see this 26-mile marker, and now I'm receiving a message to follow a different path in that regard. So don't judge what comes up, but do listen and consider. Listen to and consider what's coming up. Wow, that's really interesting. Libra, this is going to be a really unusual month. I feel like it's going to be filled with this is a month where you're going to kind of look back and you're going to talk a lot about the different things that occurred. That everything is just going to be like, wow, like I could never have predicted that or planned that out. And yet here it is. And here's how it unfolded. So here is your outcome. If you stay on this course, who will you be on the other side of this journey? What is the result of embracing the full death and rebirth cycle? Oh my God, I love it. You got the Fool card. I got to say, the Virgo's got the Fool card, and actually I think there's one other sign that ended up with a Fool card in the outcome as well. But yeah, you're getting the Fool card. So this definitely is, I feel like at the beginning you're really feeling frustrated and discouraged because you're just like, what the fark? But in the end, you have a very clear path on what's going on. And I feel like even though this Fool's journey often represents like the blind leap of faith and you don't know what the journey is going to bring, I'm actually seeing that all of this is happening because you're now very clear on what the path is. And while you don't necessarily know all the things that are going to occur while you're on the path, you're very clear about what path it is. You're clear on the direction that you're taking, and you're very confident in it. You know, she's got her arms spread wide. She's like, woohoo, let's do this. And that's exactly what I'm feeling here. In this depiction, she is looking backwards, but I feel like it's like she's looking back with triumph. She's like, I'm saying goodbye one last time because I took the leap and I landed on the ledge, and now we are ready to like, I'm seeing it in the opposite. It's like, okay, she landed here. She's saying, ah, rah, I am woman, hear me roar. And now she and the kitty in the bag are getting ready to start their new journey in this direction. So there's triumph here. This is victory. If we look at this, this is victory, even though, you know, the Six of Wands is a more traditional victory. This is also a victory in itself. You've chosen the new path. You leapt, you're here, and you're ready to go. And I feel like it's going to be very, very clear to you. Whew. Okay. So Libra, that is your reading, your transformational tarot reading for November. Very interesting month. If you need any help, support, guidance, click on the link below, book a session, you know where to find me. Otherwise, have the most amazing month. I can't wait to hear how this all transpires for you guys. Please feel free to keep me posted in the comments. And otherwise, until I see you for another episode of Black Feather Couture, Divining a VIP Life, we will see you on the flip side, and transform well.